And one, and two, and high five. Hey guys, Costas here, back from OtakuGamerZone.com. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about your options that you have to basically start getting into the world of figure photography, and some recommendations will be out of reach for some, others will be quite obtainable. I'll be talking about just kind of variations of objects you can use, types of figures and such, as well as equipment that you can have and use to make your photography quite fun and a little bit different. So again, for starters, I will have everything linked down in the description below, so if you guys like to pick one up yourself. I don't have an affiliation with Danny Chu Smart Doll. I'm just going to be posting it because this is what I've been using a lot for all my newer photography aspects when it comes to figures, and frankly speaking, this is kind of the upper tier of figure photography more so. So the biggest question that I get asked by a few people that have actually direct messaged me over on Twitter or sent me via an email is where to get started when it comes to doing figure photography. And really, it's up to you where you want to start. Now, of course, for most of you wondering, yes, I use a DSLR camera from Nikon. It is a little bit more above than what some will use, but frankly speaking, it's not neat. I have a need for this because I do video recording, and I also have press coverage that I do for conventions, so having something that's changeable in terms of different types of lenses and also can bring a little bit better audio recording quality than a standard phone can is a little bit more diverse in that sense. Now, don't get me wrong, phones have come a very long way, and especially this past 2 years with the Galaxy S8, the iPhone 10, and the Google Pixel 2 series, you're getting cameras that are quite phenomenally stellar in the package that is your phone. So don't be afraid to use something like that. I've actually been doing a few shots solely on my Google Pixel 2 with our Smart Doll, and frankly speaking, the quality is very good, and I find myself using my phone more for at-home shots than I do my camera now. Now, as far as beyond the camera aspect goes, you know, you have a range of items you can choose from. The easiest and most cost-effective way for my North American and Canadian viewers really to get started, and actually really everybody in the world technically speaking, you can start with regular action figures. Look at the Black Series for Star Wars. They are really of the higher end quality action figure set that you can get for kind of mainline stuff. They are not as flexible. Some of them are. They offer a pretty decent degree of juxtaposition in terms of limb movement and such, and kind of posing, so you can get kind of nice camera shots and such. But that's a good way to start off, and they oftentimes are pretty darn cheap and cost effective to get into. Nendroids, Figmas, and definitely Smart Dolls and other ball-jointed dolls are a little bit of a different story. They cost a little bit more. The average Nendroid, at least in American, will run you around 45 USD. If you can find them local in shops like GameStop or not, you're probably looking at $50 and up. Nendroids, though, are awesome because they give you your favorite anime characters. You can swap them around and really kind of customize them to your heart's content, so you can kind of, in theory, make your own custom Nendroid if you swap around enough of the pieces to kind of make something your own, and that's kind of pretty cool if you think about it. But Nendroids offer a really kind of nice gateway, and for what I've found so far, they come in two types of flavors. So representing the base model, you have Renge from Non Biori, representing the kind of, I would say, standard Nendroid, where you have fixed arm poses that you can swap out for different ones. You have different facial expressions, and of course the hair is adjustable to some degree. Usually for characters that have kind of ponytails or pigtails, you can usually move them around to kind of make a little bit more expressive results for your images. And again, feet can be swapped out for maybe a sitting pose if they come with it, but you're really just at the limitation of whatever Good Smile is providing with its Nendroid. And frankly speaking, they're very fun to work with. Even with their limited expressions and such, you can get some really good diverse pictures. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen what I've been able to capture with Nendroids alone, and they're pretty darn fun to take pictures with. Your second type of Nendroids, case in point, I have Mercy from Overwatch, the Overwatch line of Nendroids representing this. Let me take her off her base real quick because it's a little loose. These ones actually have a lot more flexibility. They don't come with many poses, as their arms actually have a lot more flexibility. So her standard arm, while it looks fixed, can actually be moved inwards. So you have a lot more freedom with how you're actually moving the pieces. Now, one thing I have noticed is these are a little bit more flimsy. The limbs tend to pop out, the hands tend to pop out more so that's probably just a maybe design flaw. I'm not sure that's the word I'm looking for, but these offer a little bit more range of posing. They of course come with their own accessories. These will come with accessories too, mind you, but pretty much beyond the full, more flexible legs and arms, you're still getting a standard Nendroid package, and that's fine. You can do some really fun shots with these, and especially with all the new Marvel, DC, fantasy, Star Wars, even Disney other ones, and these Overwatch Nendroids, you're getting Nendroids that actually offer a really nice degree of diversity in terms of what you can do with them. Now, if you're wanting something that's more posable and roughly around the same price point, usually $10 higher than the standard Nendroid, you could opt for Good Smile's Figma line. They're going to be a lot taller, and as you can see, comparing it to Renge again, Hatsune Miku is pretty tall. They're technically smaller because these are more of a chibi style. This is kind of more of a scaled down representation of the actual character. But again, you're getting the same degree of diversity, but in a little bit more of a flexible fashion. So the legs and feet are more posable, the arms are posable. The hand usually rests on some sort of ball joint, so it actually has the same degree of movement almost as a smart doll does. I would say roughly pretty well. Depends on their arm accessory. If they have something blocking, that will of course impede some movement, but overall you're not going to get too much, but it's still very fun, and they're still a lot more flexible, and frankly speaking, this is what kind of got me into taking figure photos. So again, like Nendroids, they'll have swappable faceplates, so you have a wider range of expression. You have swappable arm pieces. In the case of this racing Figma, I could actually find one that has a motorcycle part, and then I can swap her legs out for her legs that are made to ride on a motorcycle. So you have range of motion with these, and that's really fun and awesome. So you can kind of create and stage things as you will. Case in point, if you have the Kill la Kill line of Figmas with Ryuko and Satsuki, you can kind of make some really cool sword fight, epic battle type of scenes. And again, they're really kind of cost effective for that photographer that just wants to kind of get their feet wet. Now let's say that's not enough for you. You want to take the whole buffet home type situation. Well, that's when you would jump up into a ball jointed doll. Case in point, a Danny Chu Smart Doll. This is going to offer you superb degree of flexibility in terms of articulation and posing. They hold their poses very well. Some of the joints might get worn down over time, but you can easily torque them back up to readjust, and they actually do pretty good with that. So smart dolls are going to be a little bit more flexible due to a few things. One, you can change the outfits. The outfits on all Nendroids, again, unless you're doing body swapping between them all with the heads, their outfits are static. They're not going to move much. They're hard plastic. They're usually casted by the same mold, and you're not going to have much else beyond that. With smart dolls, I can swap this Seifuku out for maybe a gray turtleneck sweater or a white blouse top. You know, you can really customize this and change. I can swap lingerie. I can do different undergarment type of sets. I can change shoes. I can change her wig. I can change her eyes. I can change her hands. So you can buy, like Nendroids, they'll come with different hand pieces, and same thing here. You can buy little packs. With Danny Chu, for example, he actually has 3 now. 1's in development, 2 are for sale right now, of different type of hand poses. So you can swap the hands out, so I can have her waving, or I can have her, maybe grabbing something. So it is more flexible in that sense, but one thing that you're going to lack with a ball jointed doll in particular is the more diverse expressions when it comes to the faceplate. Ota Kamiya here will always have her normal facial expression. Again, I can change her eyes, I can change the color of them. I've seen some makers actually make custom eye sockets and stuff where they kind of repaint over to maybe make it a little bit more angry looking or so. But with smart dolls and other ball jointed dolls, case in point Volk's Dolphy Dreams, you're more or less stuck in that same position. You can change the bust size, you can change the type of feet that they have. Danny Chu, for example, makes a high heel foot version that works with high heel shoes, or you can use it to add more of a playful diversity to the kind of posing aesthetic you're going for. But really just bear in mind you're paying so much more for this. On average, you're going to be paying, with at least a Danny Chu Smart Doll, not counting the apparel set, you're going to be paying about $600 USD when it probably adds up to shipping. Volk's Dolphy Dreams will be a little bit cheaper, but again, you're going to be running into the same type of category. You're going to have to buy clothes, you're going to have to buy a whole bunch of other stuff, so the price point kind of just goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up from there. So that is something just to take into consideration when you're looking at that. So yes, would I recommend this for a starter? Probably not, but if you have some money to kill and you really want to get into ball jointed dolls, especially ball jointed doll photography, this is the best way to go. I personally prefer Danny Chu Smart Dolls. To me, aesthetically, they look a little bit better. They take on an anime type of aesthetic, I would say, in terms of their curvature. It's exaggerated, and that's just how they're made, unfortunately. You can get male versions of ball jointed dolls. Specifically, Danny Chu has 2 type of male options. He did mention that he's going to be working on potentially another one, a third one, so that's very awesome for those of you out there that prefer male ball jointed dolls. And then the Figma and Nendoroid line will span pretty much everything. They have Portal Figmas, they have Marvel, DC Figmas, same with the Nendoroids and such, so there's a big diversity pool when it comes to these. And again, these here are all going to be about $45 to maybe $100 at most, depending on the type of Nendoroid you're getting. So really, when it comes to figurine photography and doll photography, or whatever you want to call this, your world is open. The kind of sea of toys and action figures and ball jointed dolls and collectible figures are kind of at your disposal more so. And again, it really doesn't matter if you're using a DSLR with interchangeable lenses. Sure, I can get a much better fixed lens that gives me a lot more portrait depth, a lot more bokeh and such, but my phone can almost achieve that nowadays. And frankly speaking, that should be something that you guys all take into consideration too when you're looking at getting into this line of photography and really with what you're trying to do with this. So that's really all I have for today's video. Hopefully you guys found this informative, and hopefully for those of you that have been asking me over on Twitter and through my email, hopefully this addressed a few questions that you guys had. I'm sorry I took so long to do this video. I had a few of you wondering when I was going to be able to do this, and the result is now. So hopefully you guys forgive me for that. I should have this up for you guys to all enjoy and watch. I'm not the expert when it comes to this, guys. I've just been learning as I've been going, so hopefully this conveyed something to you all. It's a little bit of a longer video, but that's how it is. Links in the description for everything that I've featured here personally. I will link my camera setup in case you guys are wanting to use my DSLR for figure photography. I'd recommend the Nikon D5600 over the 5500 since it's a little bit more easily purchasable nowadays. So as always, guys, this has been Cosmos at TalkingGamersZone.com, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.